So let's look at how the major and minor scales are constructed and related, and play a few leads with these two blockbusters. We'll start with the granddaddy, the major scale. First, let's look at the anatomy of the major scale, because once you understand how it is put together, you'll be on the road to soloing like your favorite guitarists. Here are the 7 notes that make up the major scale, in this case, a G major scale. If you've explored my Acoustic Rock Basics lesson, Soloing with Pentatonic Scales, you'll notice that the major scale encompasses the major pentatonic and adds 2 more notes, the 4th and the 7th of the key. Like pentatonic scales, the patterns that make up major and minor scales can be found and repeated all over the fretboard. The starting note of the scale, in this case G, is called the root, and once you cycle through all 7 notes of the scale, it repeats. The 8th note of the scale is another root note. Scales are made up of half steps, the distance of 1 fret, for instance the 9th to the 10th fret, and whole steps, 2 frets, for instance between the 10th fret and the 12th fret. However, we often play whole steps and half steps across the strings. For instance, when we're playing a whole step across the strings, most string pairs have 2 frets in between, like this. However, between the 2nd and 3rd strings, you'll only have 1 fret between your fingers. Scales are built by combining half steps and whole steps in a specific order. As you can see in the notation and tab for example 1, in a major scale, these steps fall in the following order: whole, from the 10th fret of the 5th string to the 7th fret of the 4th string. Whole, from the 7th fret of the 4th string to the 9th fret of the 4th string. The next is a half step, from the 9th fret of the 4th string to the 10th fret of the 4th string. The next is a whole step, from the 10th fret of the 4th string to the 7th fret of the 3rd string. The next is another whole step, from the 7th fret of the 3rd string to the 9th fret of the 3rd string. And you have one more whole step, from the 9th fret of the 3rd string to the 7th fret of the 2nd string. And finally a half step, from the 7th fret of the 2nd string to the 8th fret of the 2nd string. And together that sounds like this. You can use this configuration to build a major scale starting on any note. Let's try C down at the 3rd fret. If you move up using the whole and half step major scale formula, you get a C major scale.